There are open minded and closed minded people in the world. And I am so glad that there is an end to some of this craziness on social media websites because it's gone on for far too long. And I don't understand why they haven't done this sooner. But I really do believe that there should be a censorship as to what content is aired on even, you know, not just the social media of online websites, but even on television. I remember or recall there was a time where there were certain words that you couldn't say on TV, and now you can say them. You can use some profanity. You can show certain content, and now things are a whole lot different than what they were when I was growing up in the 70s. And I guess for some I may seem or appear older, but I really do feel like we really do need some discretion about how we voice opinions. I don't think we should throw everything out, or at least there should be like a censorship in terms of uh, a filter where people can choose what content they want or what level of content they want to hear. Just like when you go to a movie theater, you know if it's rated PG or if it's rated R, if it's rated MA, or and so on. And you know what you possibly may see and hear before you view the movie. And I believe that's probably how they should term social media. And and they do that with TV. They give you options. So they allow the parent to have parental control over what content their children witness. And sometimes that doesn't always work, but the option is out there. And I think that's probably what they should look at doing. But these are the issues that usually end up on social media, talking about women in a really disrespectful manner, talking about people's race, making fun of people, whether they're poor or if they're not, attractive enough, or if they're overweight, and mocking people or not wanting to hear certain groups of people speak simply because they're not a male, and exercising misogyny in the form of hate on social media. And I'm glad to see these type of individuals disappear, or at least it won't be as prevalent, or it won't be as many videos of hate towards women or women of color and men that get online, and they've had some failed relationships, and they have biases against women, or they have biases against people of different religions, or they hate people based on race and where they come from. And I'm glad to see that hopefully there'll be less of this, or they'll monitor and edit out these individuals, or erase or delete these individuals, or close down some of these websites that are filled with hate-filled comments about how people want to, physical do physical or bodily harm to others based on a belief. And it's really scary. It has gotten really scary, but I have gotten personally turned off by some of the things that I have experienced, just from turning on the computer and listening to some of the videos. Now, there's some content that I've run across that has been really, really informative. It sheds a lot of discussion, and it opens up a door so people can comment in, how would you say, like more like in an academia type of way, where you can have educated discussion about politics. It's not about fighting and hurting people and killing people. And what I dislike so much is how people try to put a lot of emphasis on, you know, um, relationships. Because despite what, the people have been saying about couples, and I notice there's this need for some people to feel if their life doesn't exist with someone else, it isn't complete. And I think those are lies. That's a deception. And there are some people that can be perfectly fine without having a, a commitment to someone else. They might be committed to something in their life, but it may not be another person per se. Maybe they have family members. They're not in a relationship, but they have a relationship with their family, or they have a relationship that's more genuine with maybe things that they aspire to do with school or work. Um, and they may be happy that way. And I feel like people put too much emphasis on trying to get in these relationships, and that I believe that's the reason why there's a lot of divorce, because not everybody is meant to be married or to be in relationships. And from what I've seen from a lot of people, these relationships aren't really happy. And I guess for me, I'm a free spirited individual, and I like autonomy, and I don't like confusion. I don't like to argue. I don't like to be in a relationship with someone who's going to argue and fight. But you see people who, even if you're not in a relationship, or you're not related to them, that's all they're used to doing is fighting. And they can't have an educated conversation of debate where it doesn't end or result in physical violence. And so people have differences of opinions. And some people are gay, some people are lesbian, some people are straight, some people are maybe just single. They don't want to get in a relationship. Maybe they don't want to be involved with anyone because there's too much drama in relationships. Maybe they would be gay, maybe they would be lesbian, but because there's so much drama in that, they choose to just be single. So there's also a lot of hypocrisy out there, with some of the belief systems that society has put forth. It could be certain issues in, government and religion. And, I really dislike, I'm just putting it out there, I dislike when people don't tell the truth and they're not honest, and they know that they're pulling your leg. They're patronizing, and I get this a lot at the workplace. And so you can only, say so much and do so much. And if you're underneath somebody, you can't really be yourself. You just kind of gotta just like roll with the flow. And so I feel like there's a lot of craziness even at work, but even in relationships. Marriage is not for everybody. Maybe people have already been married and they're divorced, and they're happily divorced, and they're happily single. And maybe they had some hurt, some past hurts. they experience. And a lot of times I find women end up getting STDs when they get involved in relationships with guys who are not honest. They don't want to tell you what their sexual history is. They sleep around. You don't know if they're sleeping with other guys, other men, um, and they're not going to tell you. They're not, no, I don't know of any guy that'll come out and say, I'm gay, um, in the extent that I'm bisexual. I like to sleep with men and women. I haven't run across any guys that have done that. And I would imagine there's plenty of them that will do this, that have extra activities going on, and they're not going to be honest. So it leaves you at a disadvantage. So I find that an extreme turnoff. And when a person feels like that they have to tell me everything to do in my life to govern myself as if I'm some kind of 2-year-old, I find that to be a turn off because I'm an adult. I've lived all these years without instruction of some male telling me what to do every step of the way, and I've been fine. I pay my own bills, I pay my own way, and I don't have to hear any arguing and fighting and somebody threatening my life simply because I won't listen to their craziness. So I've been recently turned off by a lot of issues, a lot of things. So I've just turned away from it. And I feel like I'm more turned on by having a sense of self awareness, peace of mind, my own spirituality, my own sense of self without the craziness. So that's pretty much how I feel. Thanks for listening.